Alright, so we're back with the factory XJ Dana 44 rear axle. Phase 1 is complete. We got our truss welded on, and we even got some bonus rust so the paint we got will stick better. Awesome. In this video, we're going to learn how to take the entire thing apart and see what's inside. And we mean everything. So we're going to remove the ring and pinion, we're going to remove the shafts, the bearings, everything. So, I guess first what we're going to do is just pop open the cover and see what it looks like in there. And if you care, there's a couple numbers. What's it? 6053421 B04297 something like that. 42513. Work smarter, not harder. Okay, all the bolts are off except for the top one. That way it doesn't come splashing everywhere. Oh, yum. Yummy. Now I think he pulled the cover so he could tell me what kind of gears were in there, so I'm not surprised that there's not a whole lot left. Alright. Oh god, that's so gross. I forgot how disgusting gear oil smells. So yeah, those are gears, and if you notice there's quite a bit of water in there. And there's even a little bit of rust on the gear surfaces themselves. But hey, nothing's broken. And if there were any shavings in there, there aren't anymore. Looking good. Looking good. Cool. Look at the size of that pinion. Holy shit. Dana 34, baby. So we got some big ass cap bolts over here. And I want to make sure to remember which side is which. Let's see, does this one have the wonderful marking for us? There's a bunch of silicone everywhere. I'd have to clean the surfaces up better, but usually somewhere over here on the housing is marked, and there'll be a mark over here. It looks like we got a sideways X and a topwards X, but a little hard to tell. Okay, before we can get into there, though, we're going to have to remove the shafts so that we can actually, pull the damn thing out. So, now we come over here. Once you get your drum off, and if you can't get your drum off, pop open these little rubber booties over here, and see if you can spin this guy if it's not dead. And one way contracts it, the other way expands it. So contract it, so you can actually get the drum off. So inside our little peephole, you'll see 4 nuts in the back over here. This is for your retainer plate. This is what holds the axle inside. This is not a C-clip axle, it's a retainer plate. Much stronger, much better. So you're going to take yourself a deep socket 9/16, make a little love in there. Hey baby, how you doing? Ooh, stubborn one. Well, we can tell that's never been taken apart before. Guess it's time to get out the big guns. Ingersoll Rand. Smoke them if you got them. Booyah. Okay, once your 4 nuts are out, then our retainer plate is free. And then the axle shaft is not really held in by anything except bearing tension, really. So we take ourselves a little hammer and put it up against this little nipple and just... Yeah, she's in there a little tight, eh? Alright, she's in there a little tighter than most. Damn, son. Huh. Well, that usually works on the 35. I wonder if I'll have to do a slide hammer or something. A little cranky, so we're gonna break out the slide hammer. Pow pow. Yeah, buddy. Favorite kind of fine china. Let's see if all the parts are in here, and see what we can do with this thing. Wowee, can you believe they actually build something that's, you know, meant to fit where it's supposed to go? Ain't that cool? So you can just bolt this guy right onto your hub, lock it down with some lug nuts. I twisted the center shaft down all the way until it contacted the shaft, and then I guess this is a lock ring. I don't know. I just tightened the lock ring, so I guess that's good. So now, you know, you get to use those muscles that you've been practicing on all through puberty. Hey, Macarena. Piece of shit. Stubborn motherfucker, eh? Cool. Well, that looks just like the non-C clip. We got our lock ring, got our bearing, got our seal, retainer plate, and the race is inside. Excellent. Pretty good, pretty good. Alright, well, that wasn't too bad. Guess we do the same on the other side now. Well, shit. So much for fine china. You son of a bitch. Huh. Well, that sucks. You can see it cracking over here, too. What a pile of shit. Well, it's already broke. Might as well go all the way. Sucker's broke, but we're going to try and use it again anyway. So I figure since we are right at the edge of this, it might actually hold itself together, but since we got two on the dinger like that, we should still be okay. I'm going to do this two-handed just so that I can get a maximum bangage. God, this thing is such a pile of shit. Look at that fucker go. She split all the way, baby. Oh man, got some Chinesium brass knuckles now. Let's go. Missing a finger, but it's alright. You know what to do with the last one. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Well, let's see how much worse this death trap can get. Let's keep going. Oh, you cocksucker. Oh, it was working great. It was actually holding. All I had to do was, you know, slide it back in every time. Oh, you pile of shit. Oh, you fucker. Well, that was fun. God damn it. Thanks, Trump. That's right, motherfucker. Who's your daddy? God damn. Okay, so the only guess that I have is that the seal rusted itself to the backing plate. That's the only thing I can think of. Because if you look, like, you can see the chips and stuff, all the little rust flakes. So it must have rusted in so bad that it just held itself in place. That's incredible. So my plan of attack was to take the little chunk that was left, and this side's got a paw. So luckily, with the little paw, I was able to wedge that in there, and she actually held enough for me to take it out. But damn, was that in there. You could try maybe having a chisel and beating on that real good, get it full of, you know, PB blaster, all that good shit, and see if that don't help. But holy crap, man. They were in there good. We didn't even get to the race yet. Hopefully the race comes out a little easier. Goodness. Alright. So now we got our shafts out. Can you tell which one was on the driver's side? Needless to say, it's important to make sure that your breather line is properly sealed. Did you say seal? So as we can see, height-wise, the driver's side is slightly shorter. So the passenger side is longer. So yeah, that's what some stock 31st shafts look like. That's, I think 29 spline or something like that. Neat. We're going to go bigger though. You're going to love what they look like. Okay, so last on the list is the race. The thing that the bearing sits in, that guy, that'll come out. Hello, anyone in there? It's pretty cool looking. So all that tapping looks like it actually moved the race forward a little bit. And the cool thing is, since we're going to be doing a disc brake swap, I'm going to take off the entire backing plate as well. Now they look like they're on there pretty good, and you'd be correct in an assumption. They are very well entrenched in their location. But all you gotta do is beat them off. They're not actually held on with anything besides, you know, factory rust. So let them soak Actually, that one feels a little loose. Get your biggest purse you can find. You should be able to smack her right off. Yeah, here, check this out. Get it nice and bright for you. She moves real easy. So if it wasn't stuck on the rusty lip of this guy, she should come right out. I don't want to scratch that bore up too much, but you get the idea. So I might have to take the backing plate off anyway just to get the damn race out. Nice, real nice. If you love her, lube her. Got a little liquid ranch in there, and yeah, you just kind of tap away, man. Ole! And there you go. Here, little racy. Come out, boy. It's alright. Come on, don't be shy. Attaboy, come on. You can trust me. I won't hurt you much. You pile of shit. Alright, well, she's still being a little cranky. I might have to clean it up, but it should just come right out. Bastard. It's like you read my mind. Alright, well, this isn't exactly a toy you should be using one-handed, especially when it's not locked down. Come on, do it for the vine. Prick. I know where you live. Don't make me sick Tony on you, eh? Pile of crap. Break your legs. Come here. Got something to show you, motherfucker. Hey. Alright. No problem. Hey. What are you doing? I saw that. Motherfucker. Before you ask, yes, the race can come out without removing the backing plate. No problem. And yes, before you tell me, I know there's a proper tool for that. You can get the three gel vise thingy in there, and you turn the clamps out, and she'll come out. I just like being lazy. Can I do it? Kobe, go! That's a much better shot, so you can see that on the right side for mine, the X is horizontal, and on this side, it's vertical, and more of a triangle, really. Cool. So for this bad boy, it's a 3/4 inch. So we're gonna use the big boy gun. We're gonna pop them out. And this is gonna be the interesting thing. If when you take all the bolts out, the carrier falls out, she was loose. If it's still stuck in there, hey, they're still tight. Cool. Now, I actually bought myself an axle spreader so I can do the job properly because shims and things. And well, you'll see in another video, but worst comes to worst, I got a spreader, but I'll see if I can do it with a crowbar just to show you at home, folks, how to do it. Yo, man, what's in the box? This is what 130 smacks get you on eBay. Oh, come on, man. Well, at least you get some free confetti, eh? Fuck. Come on. So first off, fuck you guys for using shredded paper as packing material, you bastards. And second, man, that fucking box is toast. Jesus. Housing spreader. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that looks a lot smaller in the pictures. Holy crap, man. Look at that. Look at this thing, man. Holy. Fucker's heavy. Okay, wow, looks like we got all the hardware. Yeah, that should be able to freaking open up a case. Holy. Ta-da! Goes together all something like that. So what's cool is it's actually got two slots on here, so if you needed to work on a smaller axle, you can. We're going to need the bigger side. So over here is the threaded adjuster part right here. So this threads in, this part stays in place and spins, and this is what brings it in closer or farther. If you notice, I got a little molly on there. A little molly never did no harm. And we'll thread that in until she fits. And then hopefully this sucker will pop right out. Alright, so when it's all mounted, it should look a little something like that. You dig? So that's what those big ass holes are for. It just fits right in there. You're gonna make sure that when you tighten this up, this is straight. But yeah, you just loosen this nut, and that'll expand the housing. Now, in order to know how much you're expanding, you're gonna want a one of them dial indicator dealios. So you put it on one end, and then you put the pin on the other side, I guess, or something like that. And you don't want to extend this thing past, I think, 10 or 15 thou. I've also read 20 thou, so I don't know. But somewhere within that general range. You don't want to go too far. Literally just enough that you can pop the carrier up. So we're going to get the dial indicator and mark it up. So here's my convoluted system right here. So we got the magnet base hooked up to one side. And then we just got this little system going on over here. And I tried to keep everything sort of kind of on the same plane. But she's at 0. And this is under tension. That's the important part. You can't just have it sitting there. It's got to be under some amount of tension. So then we loosen this up until, I guess we're at the 10 thou mark, maybe a little more. I mean, for right now, basically, once the gear comes out, we're good. But yeah, so we're just going to crank on this and see what happens. So a couple things. One, this gets hard to turn quickly because the axle wants to start to rotate, so that's kind of annoying. Second, you can't bump this at all, or otherwise your reading goes absolutely bonkers. So that's another thing, and I've not really seen it moving. I don't know if the truss is affecting this at all. So I want to try a more bootleg. Can you fucking focus, please? A more bootleg method that I read on a forum. So someone mentioned putting a wrench on the ring gear, on a ring gear bolt, and then spinning the pinion and see if that helps force it out. So, see what happens. Oh, sweet baby Jesus, for the love of God. Okay, so first off, I flipped this around, so instead of having to pull the wrench up, I can pull the wrench down. That helps me get a little more leverage. It's easiest when the wrench is in like this, and you can pull, because when you're down here, it starts to rotate more. Second, I got myself a little paw that is wedged between the pinion head and the carrier case. That's the only way I could figure out how to get this thing to, you know, really hold on. If you notice, look at that. Bearing finally moved out a little bit. And finally, pipe wrench on the pinion yoke. So when we turn that, oh, you fucking bitch. Oh, thank God. When you turn that, it fucking forces it out. You piece of shit. Oh Lord. Okay. So hopefully I can get the little bastard out there. Whew. If you're curious, that's what it looked like. That was the winner. Hard to find yourself a cat's paw these days. At least a good one anyway. Piece of shit. Fuck you. And look, it even comes with a fidget spinner. Adult size, of course. Nice. Oh man, look at all the room in there. Holy shite. Yeah, she's a big one, alright. Alright, cool. Well, now we can take the pressure off this, and last but not least, the pinion. Seriously, look at that fucking thing, dude. Holy shite. Gargantuan. For those of you that like to see the numbers and can do the math. No, not the meth. Come on, focus, you fuck. Thank you. Focus. You fuck. Okay, so we got 43 and 14. When you divide them, 43 divided by 14, you get 307. So that is our gear ratio, 307. So this came out of a manual, I think. I think autos came with 355s. I don't know. I'm sure you could find it somewhere. But anyway. Okay, on to the grand finale of the pinion. So this nut is a 1 1/8 inch nut. Put her in the loosey-goosey mode and grab on with the other hand and go to town. She should come right off. And then last but not least, you get to smack it out. So the rear bearing is going to be a little tight on there, but it should come off. Ta-da! Alright, cool. Beauty. Look at that thing, man. Huge. Okay, so now we'll remove that seal. We'll knock them races out, and she is completely disassembled. Hooray! Okay, so the trick with these guys is you want to try to deform them. The best thing I've found for that is a nice chisel, something you can really beat on. So I was just taking this sledge, and I was working my way around. First, you got to figure out where the separation between the seal and the housing is. And when you find that, you start working your way around, and you want to deform it. By deforming it, you're trying to break the sealing surface. So I worked it and bent all the ridges around, and that really didn't seem to help. So I took the punch in the middle here and started beating it to see if I could bend it in a little bit. And I don't know, it wasn't really doing much. So I said, screw it. Let's see what the cat paw does. Stuck it in there and just went boop. Oh, okay, cool. Ready? Boop. Nice. Alright. No more shitty seal. Alright, so now we get to see what's inside here. So we have ourselves a one of them there oil slingers. Looks like it's a little bent in. Got ourselves the rear bearing. And hey, there's even a shim stack in there. How you doing, girl? Hi. Okay, so I'll have to figure out later. That's probably the pinion preload. I think there should be 2 sets of shims. So then for the final part, we get ourselves a round punch, and we just pop the bearing races out. So, you know, smack her through and work your way around, pop her free. Alright, so I'm going to take something like this, and we'll do like the bottom, see if we can get it to move a little bit, and then we'll switch to the top and do the top a little bit, and we'll just give her a good spanking until she works her way free. You want to make sure you don't stay on one side too long, because otherwise it gets cocked in there and then it gets really stuck. So you want to try and, you know, get it out straight. But that's 2 hands. Lots of beating. Okay, so this is the first race out. This is from the front bearing. And we got a little shim stack that came out with that too. Cool. So that was between the housing and the bearing. Cool. So we will need ourselves a setup race in order to get the pinion depth correct. And then the other shims there are just for the pinion preload. Alright, so now we just do the same thing, but on the other side. Merci, Seigneur. Au revoir. That one actually came out a whole lot easier. Ta-da! Okay, there you go. That's how you completely disassemble a Dana 44 rear axle out of an XJ. Hooray! And interesting note, there are no inner axle tube seals. So that diff fluid's allowed to get everywhere. And we also have our shims between the race and the housing. So that's cool. And then the other set of shims is between the pinion on this little ridge here and the outer bearing. And we just got a baffle in the rear. Okay, well, guess it's time to spray her down and clean her up. Sweet!